Howdy folks, Banjo Dan here with another installment of the Eclectic Banjo.
And I'm Freeland Danny.
In my Music Theory's Lesson Byte series, I will repost a portion of a previous music theory lesson for greater accessibility and digestibility.
Oh, I get it. Lesson bite. Like taking a bite out of a lesson, but also watching a small bit of one. Play on words. Clever.
If you're hearing repeat information from a previous video, don't be alarmed. This is intentional. Let's take a look back at what we had to say in this lesson. The G major scale has been around a long time. The ancient Greeks first developed the major scale's tonal structure sometime in the Middle Ages. Major scales didn't rise to prominence until the Baroque period in music history, though, sometime around 1600 to 1750. There are many kinds of scales in music, such as the chromatic, diatonic, and pentatonic scales. The G major scale is a 7-note diatonic scale. Because it has 7 notes, it can also be called a heptatonic scale, though not all heptatonic scales are diatonic in nature. Back to the ancient Greeks. They invented a musical construct involving notes with certain pitches in descending order called a tetrachord. Despite what the name might suggest, they played tetrachords melodically, or one note at a time. A tetrachord is a set of 4 notes spanning a perfect fourth interval, or 5 half steps in length. Half steps, abbreviated with a capital H, measure the tonal distance between 2 notes. A whole step, abbreviated with a capital W, equals 2 half steps. Let's use an example of a tetrachord used in the G major scale. From G to C is a perfect fourth. Its steps between notes are as follows. From G to A is a whole step. From A to B is a whole step. From B to C is a half step. So one tetrachord has the following whole step half step formula, WWH. Now let's imagine I added another perfect fourth interval like D to G after the G to C tetrachord. What does that look like? Now we have 2 tetrachords, each with their own formula, WWH, WWH. In order to tie the tetrachords together, we just need to add another whole step between the ending note of the first tetrachord, C, and the starting note of the next, D, since between the 2 notes resides C sharp or D flat. Thus we get the major scale's diatonic formula, WWH, WWWH. Diatonic simply means through tone, a way to describe the whole and half step formulas. Now let's look at some other details about the G major scale. The G major scale contains the following 7 notes: G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. The scale is ordered by relative pitch from lowest on the left, tonic G, to the highest on the right, leading tone F sharp. A is 1 pitch higher than G, E is 1 pitch higher than D, etc. The octave G is sometimes shown with the other 7 notes to signify completeness, such as the scale is at the end of one octave and rises to the next. The octave G is not technically part of the 7-note scale. Also consider that every note in Western music, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, is represented once and only once in a diatonic scale. This helps explain why G flat is not used in place of F sharp. 2 kinds of Gs would break the unique note rule.
Well, that about does it for this edition. I've actually been tasked to drum up likes for these kinds of videos, so yeah, go ahead. Click it. Yeah, it's right down there. Just click it. You know what I'm talking about. Just click it. That's it.
If you'd like to watch the unabridged video that this lesson byte came from, please click over here. If you'd like to watch amazing content in general, just click over here.
On behalf of Banjo Dan and I, we'll see you next time here on the Eclectic Banjo.